Just spinning, spinning, spinning. There it is. And you heard that? Yeet. That's what they like to say on TV. You ever heard that? We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Let's go to John chapter 5, verse 39. You ever heard no yeet?
No.
Oh. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And they are they which testify of me. You will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All this. Proverbs 24:1. So you don't know nothing about that?
No.
Yeet. You don't know nothing about that?
No.
Ask Muffin, she knows. Talk to her about it. Be you not envious, and their lips talk of mischief. Through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it is established. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man strong, yea, a man of knowledge increase strength. For by wise counsel shall you make war, and in a multitude of counselors, safety. Come on, Sylvie. Song. Shalom, Brother Marvin, man. Song 127. Come on with it, good sir. With haste. After that, Proverbs 24:27.
Except Yahuwah build the house, they labor in vain that build it.
Yeah, that's good right there. You quick on the draw. I had a joke for that, but I'm to myself. Proverbs 24:27. Shalom, Brother Marcus, man.
Prepare your work without and make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterwards build your house.
That's good. Jeremiah James Bird. Let me ask you a question. You want to see how a man be strong, or you want to see how he gets some pleasant and precious and pleasant riches?
What did you say? Just say it one more time.
I said, do you want to see how a man is strong? Okay. What's good, though? Shalom, Emma Sharona. This here. I'll start with that. I ain't gonna spend an inordinate amount of time on it. When you look at a wise man being strong, that is kakam. That means he's a man, shrewd, crafty, subtle, wise in administration, skillful in technical work, a cunning man. And this cunning man, this skillful man, is made strong, which is Ayin and Zayin. You could give me what you got. What Ayin means, son? Oh, you do know. You better figure it out. Amen. Shalom, Brother Michael. You better figure it out. What Ayin mean? If you don't figure out what Ayin mean, I'm gonna hit you in your Ayin. What do you think that means? Where else would you get punched at?
In the face.
Where in your face? What's on your face? What's on your face? Well, I mean, hit you in your ayin. So what's an ayin? Well, there it is. You see how that works? Now come here so I can punch you in your ayin.
No.
Yes. Oh, you gave another definition. I wanted him to know where it's at because that's where I'm finna punch him at. In his ayin. Can't you hear eye in that? You got something in your eye? Oh. You want something in your eye?
No.
Yes, sir. You don't know what's going on, son. Ayin is Ayin. You know what it is for Zayin, boy? Well, go get me a knife.
No.
Why you don't want to get me a knife?
Because I doubt that.
Well, what do you do with knives?
Cut stuff.
So what you would do with a Zayin?
They're gonna cut me.
Nah, why would I do that? Do you want to be cut?
No.
You want a haircut?
No.
A lawn cut?
No.
Fingernails cut?
What?
Oh, what?
No.
So with that being said, what would you use for Ayin and Zayin? Nobody? Very well then. Isaiah 26:3, sir, on the house.
You will keep in perfect shalom whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you.
Because he was.
Trust in you.
What else?
Trust you in Yahuwah forever. Trust in Yahuwah's everlasting strength.
Everlasting strength. Trust in Yahuwah forever. Come on here, Leviticus 15, man. Give me verse 7.
And he that touched the flesh of him that had the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until the evening. And if he that had the issue sit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his
I don't
clothes.
sound like Exodus 15.
Saying, in the greatness of your excellency, you have overthrown them that rose up against you. You sent forth your wrath, consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of your nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright as a heap. The depths were congealed in the heart of the
God
sea.
bless, Brother Smoke.
The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You did blow with your wind, the sea covered them, they sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto you, O Yahuwah, among the gods? Who is like you, esteemed in Kadash, fearful in praises, doing wonders? You stretch out your right hand, and the earth swallowed them. You and your mercy have led forth the people, you have redeemed. You have guided in your strength unto your Kadash habitation.
You got
in your strength.
Well, tell him what. Let's see what word. Shalom, Amona. What word for strength being used right there?
Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon
Now,
them.
Paul, what you think this means? How does he guide you in his strength? Well, let's go back and let's look at Exodus 12:1, and let's look and see how he guided them in his strength.
Yahuwah spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month unto you the beginning of months, the first month of the year to you. Speak you unto all the congregation of Yasharal, saying, In the 10th of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of fathers, a lamb for a house. And if a household be too little for the lamb,
each man.
Let him and his neighbor next unto his house take according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make you count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. You shall keep it up until the 14th of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Yasharal shall kill it in the evening. They shall take up the blood and strike upon on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire, unleavened bread, bitter, they shall eat it.
You like your flesh in the night? Roasted? So you don't like roasted chicken?
I do.
But you just said you don't. What's going on here?
No.
Come on, sir.
Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs and with the purtenance thereof. You shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remain of it until the morning you shall burn with fire.
You gonna do what with it?
Burn with fire.
You know you got brews who will be throwing food away on Passover, man. Talking about you ain't eat all of it. That's how dumb them niggas is. You got some dudes out here who done already slaughtered their lamb, and they finna kill him, and they finna eat him. Where your bitter herbs at the stove? Right where I left them at. You know what I'm talking about? Where your bitter herbs at? You think you done did a big deal because you done ate some bitter herbs. Y'all recall what them bitter herbs supposed to represent? Tell them what bitter means.
I don't know that.
So you like it?
That's more that's a bitter thing. Herb.
And not even just the gall. Just it's bitter herbs because it's a bitter thing. Let me tell. Matter of fact, let's take it up a notch. Ecclesiastes 7:25. Let's take it up a notch. You want to take it up a notch? You don't want to take it up a notch. So you don't like it hot. So you don't like Nicole Ray.
I don't even know what that is.
So you don't like Missy Elliott and Nicole Ray. Because they got what you want. And they got what you need.
Still don't know what that means.
They want to know, can they get another shot?
Shot of what?
Because next time they're going to make it hot.
You're just lying.
Come on, man.
I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman.
I find more what?
More bitter than death the woman.
Find more what?
More bitter than death the woman.
Tell them what bitter is right there.
That's more. That's bitter or bitterness.
Read it again. I find more bitter.
Heart is snares and nets.
Hold on. Who is this woman? We done looked at this regular woman, natural born woman. But in the instance of how we're looking at it right now, that woman is Israel. Man. That's why because if you're talking about skill, see, this is going to refer back to a conversation we had before. I ain't going to say that. Because we mentioned Jezebel last night, right? That raggedy whore. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the skill to avoid a Jezebel who's going to want to try to entice you to worship other gods. You know what I'm talking about? And how do you get this skill? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the scourge you went through. And how you get this skill? What does Proverbs 4:7 say? Doris. What Proverbs 4:7 say? Jeremiah James Bird.
Proverbs 4:7.
Where you from?
I don't know.
You don't know where you from? You just want to play because you don't want to feel left out. Yes. Yes. Then you got a whole Bible in your hand. You should have went there once you ain't know what it meant. But you gonna sit there and wait for me to tell you?
It looked like you was moving on.
How can it look like I'm moving on? I've been sitting down. You hear the disrespect? What do you propose we do about that? He said we ought to hit you. So you ain't just say that.
I said let's do that.
Yours. I gotta get my gun. You got a gun?
No.
Go ahead.
It says wisdom is a principal thing.
You clearly ain't got the principal thing. And what all you're getting, what you need to get, Doris.
Wisdom.
That's not what that says.
Therefore, get wisdom. It's yeah.
No, you didn't look at the rest of the verse.
I just agree with it.
That's how you. No, you right. You right. So long me get what is the wisdom.
Because you not saying that like how it is in the Bible, so I'm not
Shalom, Brother Robert. That's why little Johnny ain't here. Ain't because he had no baby. That's right. Little Johnny couldn't read right quick. You hit him all the cues. He just sitting there. He ain't like the nigga. What's his name? You know what I want. I've seen. You know what I'm saying? That take years though to do that one now. So they're gonna be in there sweat. You know what I want. Listen, read that again. As I said, verse 20. Come on and run. see, this is the key thing. You say wisdom is the principal thing or it's the beginning thing. But with all that of what you got in the beginning, you better get some understanding because skill without understanding is worthless. Ecclesiastes 7:20.
It said, "For not a just man upon earth that do good and sin not. Also take no heed unto all the words that are spoken, lest you hear your servant curse you. For oftentimes also your own heart know that you yourself likewise have cursed others. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said I shall be wise, but it is far from me. That which is afar off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know, to search, to seek out wisdom,
Shalom, Misha.
and the reason, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death a woman."
He said, hold on. He said he sought to find out what?
The reason.
Foolishness and what else?
Madness.
Madness. And I find more bitter
than death.
Whoso pleaseth
Elohim
shall what?
Escape from her.
But the sinner
shall be taken by her.
Now let's go over here to Proverbs 6, right? And let's look at verse 26.
So by means of a whorish woman to a piece of bread.
By means of a whorish woman. As a man brought to what?
Piece of bread.
What?
A piece of bread.
A piece of bread. Who is this whorish woman? Do we need to read it? Do you know what a whorish woman is? It's a harlot.
What is that?
Word for a cult prostitute. That's somebody who offers themselves. I was around here singing that song. Where them dollars at? You used to sing it. How Nisha just laughed. She played it in the car. Where them dollars at? That's what it's too much. You know about that? No. That's not the record. Pimp C's, that's a boot record. Y'all niggas don't listen to goddamn. No, I can see why y'all would know. Y'all only know Boots of them. Y'all don't look like y'all. I thought maybe y'all did listen to Gangsta Boo. Clearly not. That Gangsta Boo's album went out. You know what I'm saying? That's what a prostitute does. She Shalom, Jay. She offers herself for monetary recompense. But when you're dealing with Shalom, Brother Ernest, when you're dealing with a prostitute, as far as Yahuwah is concerned, this is somebody who is unfaithful to Yahuwah. They're unfaithful to God. So they play the role of a harlot. Do you know how you're unfaithful to God? Do you know how you unfaithful to God, Doris? So what? It would never be filled with pleasant and precious riches. Because you would give your wealth to another. Because you contrary to other whores, they give gifts to all whores, but you give all your gifts to other people and get nothing in return. Ain't that what the book say? That's what the book say. So when you see that, I find more bitter than death the woman, because her heart is like snares and nets. That woman in this instance, how we looking at is Yasharal. I don't know what's going on with that, man. It might be the laptop. I ain't gonna lie to you. They say that junk lagging. I can't do that. Because you got no connection problem. Peace, Brother Omar. Yeah, ain't no connection problem. I can't call it. Where we going? That's it.
You go to Proverbs 6.
You said Exodus 20.
Yeah, Exodus 20:1. Remember, what does your law say? Don't bring the price of a dog or a whore. You familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead, Sid.
Which I brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me.
You should have no other what?
Other gods before me.
You should have no other what?
Gods before me.
Whoa. Whoa. Deuteronomy 23 and 17. See, this is aspect as we talk about building the house. Pause. Proverbs house and building the house. Matter of fact, after we go to Proverbs 14 and 1, get me 1 Timothy 3 and 14. And from 1 Timothy 3 and 14 back to Deuteronomy 23 and 17. I told you we're going to dog walk it. The Lord will. I'm going to try to touch this in every single angle that it can be touched as it pertains to his house, whether spiritually, whether naturally, whether in his house, or whether while you building his house and how you ought to be operating while you in his body, if you understand. Because did not 2 Corinthians chapter 6 tell you that you are the temple of the living Elohim? Is that not what it says? Okay, then. Proverbs 14 and 1, what does a wise woman do?
Every wise woman build her house.
What a foolish woman do?
Foolish pluck it down.
You gotta ask yourself, pluck it down with a what?
With her hands.
So see, if you're a foolish woman, you destroy your own house with your own hands or by your own works. You'll destroy the house of God because you didn't build it properly. See, a skillful woman, she's going to build her house. Now, we've talked about that before in the natural. I'm not talking about no natural born woman right now, though. That's not what I'm discussing at this particular juncture. Where's the next place that I 1 Timothy 3 and 14, if you would, sir?
So these things write I unto you, hoping to come unto you shortly. But if I tarry long,
if it take me a minute,
that you may know how you ought to behave yourself in the house of God.
That you might know how to behave yourself in the house of God. Push you in the head with a bag of nickels. Come on.
That's truffle. That's to turn upside down, to overturn, to turn back, to turn here and there, to turn oneself about.
Hey, they doing the hokey pokey in there?
I guess so.
Y'all know what the hokey pokey come from? Y'all remember that? It's been a long time since we talked about that. They was. Which was wild. I said I was talking to when people's man, you missed all that. You missed ass once. I thought because you were done. We're going to get the last one.
Conduct oneself,
okay.
Behave oneself. Live.
You ought to know how to behave yourself in the house of God. Is what he's telling you. You can finish the last verse. I know you were leaving something out.
Which is the assembly of the living Elohim, the pillar and ground of the truth.
Tell them what ground means. You know what a pillar is, don't you? That's a pillar right there.
That's a drayama. That's a stay, a prop, support.
So it's a support. The house of God is that which holds up. Don't you realize that you stand up to? Matter of fact, pause. Revelation 3 and 12. Listen to what the Lord say. Shalom is, man.
I will write upon him the name of my Allah.
What he said he'll make you if you overcome. What he'll make you?
The pillar in the temple of my Elohim.
That's a support. You hold up that which is true, if you would. Come on back to 1 Timothy 3 and 15, I believe you in. Yeah, I know that junk been tripping, man. That junk could be overloaded, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because that junk lagging on my end, man. Little pauses here, man. But ain't no connection problem, though. I don't know what to tell you.
But if I tarry long, that you may know how you ought to behave yourself in the house of Elohim, which is the assembly of the living under godliness. Elohim was manifest in the flesh, justified in the Ruach, seen of Malachim, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the world, received up into esteem.
Come on, Deuteronomy 23 and 17. See, this is how you press it. Let me say pause. What king got the precious and pleasant riches taken out the house of God? Who made that mistake? No, it wasn't Hezekiah.
Who got it taken out?
Yeah, what was it? I'm thinking about Zechariah. Zechariah. It was Hezekiah. Zechariah got his eyes plucked out, but Zechariah. Yeah, he told him come in here and look at it. Got all the riches showed her. You know why you ain't supposed to do that? Because you ain't supposed to cast your pearls before swine. You ain't supposed to show all your riches to everybody just because you got it. Everything in my bad book. Because I'm thinking about Zechariah came in my mind. Come on, Deuteronomy 23 and 17.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Yasharal.
There shall be no what?
No whore.
No whore
of the daughters of Yasharal, nor sodomite of the sons of Yasharal.
Tell them what whore and sodomite mean, just in case they don't know what that mean, man.
Whore is Kedashah, female temple prostitute. Or
Whoa. A what?
A harlot.
A harlot.
A female devotee.
A female devotee. See, listen. Definitely. Listen. That's right, too. Isaiah told Hezekiah, don't you show that man that stuff. He said, don't you show that man that. Listen, read that definition again, man. Yeah, that's what they just told me, man. Ain't no telling what that is. I can't tell you why that jumped in, man, unless it's too much stuff on the laptop and it's slowing it down. No, that's what Brother Francis just said. He just slid. He just said, yeah, probably. Shoot, that jump probably gonna cut that stream off. Shoot, I don't know how I got no task usually when I don't use it. Nah, it's too late now. Nigga better suffer it.
Put it on his shoulders, the bed.
Carry that bird.
That's Kedashah, a female temple prostitute or harlot.
Listen, it's not just being a whore. Now, see, it's a lot of Hebrew women are whores because you like your titties out, your cheeks out, your vaginal canal on display. You know what I'm talking about? You walk like a hoe, you talk like a hoe. But that ain't the biggest thing that make you a hoe. Notice that there's two things that it said that made her harlot. It was being a who? A female cult prostitute, and also a female devotee. Do you know what that means?
Say prostitute.
What's that? What is that?
You say prostitute for what a female devotee is.
You know what I'm saying? But see, the female, you're going to need to know, what is a devotee? This is a maggot hoe. That's why she's a female cult prostitute. See, you paid the hoe. Now pop that thing for me while we worship Dagon. You know what I'm talking about? I got a couple of mites. Now come over here and bite in the name of Baal. You know what I'm saying? What's that one Phineas had to stab them niggas up for? It's escaping me. Which Baal was that? Baal Peor. You know what I'm talking about? That's why he wanted his couple mites for a bite for Baal Peor. You know what I'm talking about?
Like Michael.
See, it's different now. See, the whores now, they goddesses and witches. No, this other type of stuff. That don't come from Yahuwah. Don't try to bring that whole stuff in here and mix it with Yahuwah so you can feel better about being the female temple prostitute that you is. What your law say, read again. It shall be no whore you got going on. Talking about you serve God. You ain't no servant of God. You are a whore, and I'm going to call you one. See, Jay-Z had a song called 22 Twos. You know what he said on that song? Too many hoes want to be ladies. So if you a hoe, I'm going to call you a hoe. Too many of these hoes shady. That nigga ain't lied now. You know what I'm talking about? See, the problem is in this generation, you don't want nobody to call you for what you is. If you a hoe, then proud hoe. What you should? How you gonna be a hoe, but you don't want me to call you one? Moon say Beyonce one. Beyonce a big hoe. I've been told you that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? What shoes? Tell them what a sodomite is, though.
Almost the same word. That's Kadashe, a male temple prostitute.
A male temple. This is a nigga type like penis in his butt for another god.
That's a male devotee.
He's devoted to having sex with men to another god.
I seen the star tape.
He want Astarte. He tricked with men and women. Understand? I just seen a story where a woman said she paid for secret tickets to go to an orgy in Atlanta and literally was defiled by 200 men. Say she walked in the room and it was 400 plus people just funking it up. What that nigga Cleveland say, man, you gonna let the window up, you're letting the stink out. But do you understand the wild levels of orgies that go around in secret locations all across this country? Some of y'all done been in the presence of a nigga who done been bang-a-lang at a level that you could never understand. If you are part of multiple wives, is that considered one? This is what Emma said. Not necessarily, unless it's in the service of another God. So not in that instance. You know what I'm saying? This is strictly in the aspect of service to another God. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. What we did talk about it. What you think that was? First Peter 4:1. Oh, you can't see, can you, cuz? Hey, but can you see these hands? That lady say she went in there talking about her boyfriend ignored her for her birthday. She said they had to buy tickets, get AIDS tested. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so that means they in there raw with it. They in there raw with it. Man, I'm telling you, man, when Fat Boy stayed in this part over that way, man, I need to live next door to swingers. Black folks too. That's the thing. Y'all thinking this white people stuff. Niggas be on this type of stuff. Cause that was a black lady who was talking about she went to the orgy. Hell, a girl I went to school with said she went to an orgy when we were like 18 or 19. I'm like, oh my, that's just terrible. This is terrible. There's no way you're gonna be able to be anybody's wife after this. You know what I'm talking about? You just walk in a room and see a whole gang of just like this here, man. Like, how you just imagine just walking? You know what I'm saying? You just see niggas freaking off. Nigga, I'm gonna be disturbed. Nigga, I'm going home. You know what I'm talking about? Where did you bring me to? Be like, this is the movie. I ain't even. I don't care how many women in here it is. Boy, one of these people see nigga looking at your butt. Just say, shoot, it's okay for you. That's wild, bro. And that's all Bacchus worship. 1 Peter 4:1.
For as much as Mashiach had suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Elohim. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, reveling, banqueting.
And riotous eaters of the flesh who riot in the daytime. When you look at Mardi Gras, what time? They don't just be out there at nighttime. Like I said, she would have mentioned that. I just was talking to people who from New Orleans. He was like, yeah, man, we could never eat nothing on Good Friday. If I would have known what that was, I wouldn't have did it. I would have been stopped doing it. You know what I'm saying? Whole time Mardi Gras is an idolatrous festival for Bacchus. An idolatrous festival for Bacchus. It's amazing. This is what he means when he say don't, because you could be a male. See, we write the jokes on the, you know, if you're not one of the head of the sex. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because they not just having sex with the opposite sex. They having sex with whoever. That's what you have to understand when you did. We've went over this stuff before. When you deal with these guys from these other cultures, man, they didn't have any sexual restrictions. That's why they had to. This is why he's telling them Shalom, Karam, man. That's why he telling them don't have no whores. Or see, we hear whore and you want to make it be whore how you know a whore to be in 2024. You hear sodomite and you want sodomite to be what you know it is to be in 2024. But these were people who participated in illicit sexual activities in the service to the gods in the land at the time. And they still do it. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't stopped. It's still going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other stuff about being a whore, remember, he told you don't prostitute your daughter, so she should be a whore. Get that for him, man. That's 1929, Leviticus. And then you come back to Deuteronomy 23.
Do not prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness.
Tell him what prostitute and whore means. See, when you prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore, then guess what? Everything go down the drain.
Prostitute is kalal, to profane, to defile, to pollute, to desecrate.
So remember, right? This is to profane your daughter, to make her common, and to defile her. That's how you're not prostituting your daughter by putting on the strobe. You prostitute your daughter by causing her to be defiled. How do you cause your daughter to be defiled? By letting her walk around half naked and thinking it's cool. Damn near all your mamas prostituted you. And if your daddy was around and he let it go down, he was a participant. You know what I'm talking about? That's no mama on site. On site. Ain't nothing to talk about. But I'm going with you when I hit that one of them miles. She got my daughter out here looking like a hooker. You think I'm supposed to be cool with that? Ain't got to be in. What she got these little shorts on for? Why is her titties out? Matter of fact, why she got a hair hat on? This nigga got a hair hat on. Why this nigga got weave on? Why you talking about I'm finna get her face beat? Ho, I'm finna beat you up. She's 14. What she need all that for? That's an invitation for dick for a young girl. That's what you're doing. And then you wonder around, yeah, she got pregnant at 15. I wonder why. Yeah, see, I keep telling y'all, man, our people been failed us. Don't nobody want to say it because you love your mama and your daddy so much. Nigga, your mama was a failure. Your daddy was a failure. If your daddy let you walk out damn self, because boy, I'll get a divorce by that. You know what I'm talking about? Before I was in the house, she's like, that's a problem. Well, fuck at home, you can leave. And you can take her with you, and y'all can hold on the other side of this door. Y'all not finna hold where I pay the bills at. You got to be crazy. I'm not finna take care of that. If you grown enough to walk around here and look like a $2 slut, you grown enough to go pay your bill somewhere else. You can buy all the clothes you want to, and guess what? When you're funky behind talking about, I'm pregnant, you finna be a granddaddy. You on your own. I ain't coming to no baby shower. I ain't buying you no diapers. I ain't doing none of that. Because if you went out here and had a baby through illicit stupidity, you handle that on your own. You know what I'm talking about? See, a lot of people got mad at Fantasia Daddy because he told her, don't dress like no hoe, you're going to get raped. And when she got raped, he didn't care. He said, that's what I told you was going to happen. You should have listened. You should have did that. That's how God will do you. You should have listened. I already had to. It's different if I ain't tell you. It's different if it just happened to you and it wasn't based off something I told you. Don't put yourself in this situation and circumstance. Don't do this and don't do that, and you have a higher chance of this not happening. And then you do the opposite, and you won't. Like, only you gonna go. What happened when what you would say they used to come on? Remember what day? You don't know. You ain't from dying. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Hell no, you don't know what I'm talking about, nigga. You know. I know she knows. She a gangster, nigga. She was in Kent. Now she know. Tuesday and Thursday, nigga, you better watch for the sweet. Nigga, you do that song, nigga. Trying to act like you ain't know. I played that song last week. You at going through booking? You think I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? I told you don't take your stupid butt out there. But there you go, standing on the block with a pocket full of rocks. Now they got you going to jail. You told me you gonna bond me out? Bond yourself out. You been selling dope all week. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no lawyer on retainer. You ain't got a bondsman. Oh, you were pity pinching with that crack. Yeah, make sure you don't drop that soap. Yeah, but you know what we do? That's my baby. I gotta go get it. If that nigga paying all the bills, you damn sure better go get it. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm gonna go down here, nigga. You better go get it. But that's how you prostitute a daughter, though, all those aside. You make a comment. You know what I'm saying? You defile her. You know how many ways you can defile somebody, man? Defiling somebody just ain't about physical sexual activity. Tell them, well, who are you, man? Don't prostitute your daughter.
That's enough to commit fornication. To
make her unfaithful. When you cause a young woman to be defiled and to be common and to play the prostitute, she won't be faithful to nothing. And see, I ain't talking about being faithful to son as forth as being faithful or not having sex with another man. You can be married to a faithful whore. I ain't even talking about a faithful whore is that she horn around. She could be unfaithful in every area of life except towards you. Lazy, sorry, you know what I'm talking about? Don't follow through on nothing. And when you do that, he said the whole land will be what? Whole land will be unclean at that point. See, to a certain extent, that's why I don't be paying attention on dudes on the internet. Be like, it's the women, it's the women. As a man, that's you. That's your daughter, nigga. Why you putting that on her mama? Them your churns. Those are your kids. You know what I'm saying? That's your job to do that. Notice that instruction is not to no woman. Because guess what? If you leave a woman to her own devices, she gonna do what she want. She gonna make the wrong decision 11 times out of 7. Nigga said, how is it even possible to exceed the maximum number? That's how many bad decisions she gonna make if you leave a woman to her own devices. You have to be a simpleton as a man to think devices is gonna make the right decision every time. Because if she has never been instructed, guided, disciplined, taught, led, and loved by a man, she gonna do what feels good. And that's gonna be wrong every time. I guarantee you that. There's a room full of women in here who will tell you this. It's women on the stream and in the clubhouse who will tell you, leave a woman to her own devices. You really expect her to make the right decision? You really expect that? As a grown man, you really think, no, she'll make that choice. Are you serious, nigga? And she ain't never been taught, never been guided? You's a special type of fool. Hell, I learned that by the time I got out of high school. You can't leave no man left them young girls to their own devices. They were getting trains run on. You know what I'm talking about? Left them young girls to their own devices. They getting high and drunk. Come on, man. I told you, man, this girl, mama, left us with her daughter, bought liquor and left 3 teenage boys with her daughter. I said, nigga. One, I was shocked she bought the liquor. Nigga, we ain't Emerson Arms, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, she's so drunk that my homeboy like, yeah, boy. I said, nah, boy, we finna put her in the bed going home. You know what I'm talking about? Number one, I don't even want no vagina from a woman not conscious enough to be able to willfully dispose it. And number two, this is a recipe for sexual doggone predator status on your jacket and a 10 to 15 year bid in prison, nigga. I'm putting her in the bed. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? But you know, nigga, young, they don't care. Shoot, she drunk. That's all going through my mind. You going to jail. Plus the chick, I had love for her. Now, you won't put me in this. You do what you want to do. You going to go on this mission by yourself. I can't go to jail with you. My homeboy, the Buck son like that. They ran a dime on this white hoe. She came out there and said she got raped. Known freak hoe in the neighborhood. I said, yeah, boy. That's why you don't mess with a white girl. Look at you. Look at you now. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they do to you. Shoot, you lying to me. I was never with none of that junk. They're talking about 4 or 5 niggas with no, you won't. Nigga, we teenagers too. And that's what my point. When you kids to their own devices, they don't make wise decisions. You're going to do what feels good, what look good in the moment. Don't do that. Huh? You ever got left to your own devices, Doris? Huh? Do you even know that? You know what that means? Did you make good decisions when you were left to your own devices? What's the most part? 60-40? Talk about 60-40. I'm Floyd Henderson. Or 50-50. Oh, I don't believe you. You know drinking and getting high is part of not making good decisions, right?
No, not really.
You went and smoked you some reefers.
I'm saying that I didn't do that most of the time.
But you told me you smoke reefers.
Yes, but I just said I did not
You
do
ain't
that.
smoke reefers. So was you drinking or smoking or not? See, you gonna fold in the interrogation room because you don't know how to be quiet.
You heard what I said?
You should just say that. All right, that's my lawyer. My lawyer.
Speak to my lawyer. Speak to my attorney. I don't answer questions. That's what you need to remember. See, when you run across the police, they go to talking to you. I don't answer questions. Talk to my lawyer. Because see, when you keep talking, and just give it about 10 more minutes. You told on yourself.
No, I said the same thing.
So you bought a beer at 11:35. Come on, let's come back to Deuteronomy 23:17.
So there shall be no whore of the daughters of Yasharal, nor sodomite of the sons of.
Mm-hmm.
You should not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of Yehoiakim for any vow, for even both these abomination unto Yehovah your
Tell them what the hire of a whore is and the price of a dog. You ever bought a dog? To hire a prostitute into the house of Yahuwah for a vow. Don't try to pay a vow or try to pay or use the sacrifice or offering for that which you paid for a whore with. What's the price of a dog?
That's Makir, that's price, hire, reward, gain.
Now, dog is kaleb, something contemptible, a bait, a male prostitute. Don't bring that in here. Meaning, don't bring what you do with them idolatrous gods in here and try to use that money. You know what I'm saying? Don't be around here as an Israelite or a heathen who serve Yahuwah and say, you know what I'm going to do? I know I went around there to Succoth Benoth, the fool with ball, and this the money I got from out of here while I was, you know what I'm saying, tricking and Succoth Benoth, but I'm going to bring this to the house of Yahuwah and use this as an offering over here. Don't do that. That man don't want that. That man said the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Yahuwah. How much more if you bring it with a wicked mind? You ought to know how to behave yourself in the house of the living Elohim. Ain't it what it said? So if your body is, just get it for him, man. 2 Corinthians 6:14. You can let that run. You know, people use 2 Corinthians 6:14 out of context all the time, talking about you got to be evenly yoked. You don't even know what that means. Being evenly yoked ain't about having similar interests, nigga. That ain't got nothing to do about how much money you make, how much money she make, and all that ignorant junk these people be talking about. Man, that ain't got nothing to do with that. That's got dealing with how can you say you serve God and then fool with somebody who's an idolater. Second Corinthians 6:14.
Say, be you not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
With who?
Unbelievers.
People who don't make as much money as you.
With unbelievers.
With who?
Unbelievers.
With who?
Unbelievers.
Okay.
For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? What communion have light with darkness? What concord have Mashiach with Belial? What part have he that believed with an infidel? What agreement have the temple of Elohim with idols? For you are the temple of the living Elohim. As Elohim has said, I will dwell in them and walk in, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people.
This man say, what you got doing well? Can you bring idols into the house of God? And it be cool? What happened to Dagon? That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Y'all know, you know what happened to Dagon? He did. He did. You know about that, though?
Say what?
I don't answer no question.
Say what?
You better answer these. These ain't questions about your dalliances as a young woman through the borough of Brooklyn, New York. This is about, do you know what's in the book? Now that you better answer. Now see, you about to mess up. You don't know the difference between interrogation and the question. She ain't gonna know not to put salt in your grits before you salt them. You know what I'm talking about? She gonna put butter on your biscuits. You say you like your buttermilk. That's but that's between them. That's their thing. I ain't got to do with that. You know who Dagon is?
He tried to
So you don't know that. So you don't know who Dagon is. You don't know who Dagon is? That's your fault if you don't know. Because if you don't know, we'll explain it. She know who Dagon is. Don't be calling and say, I ain't know who it was. I hope he don't tell you. Mm-hmm. I don't know what none of that means. Nigga, I'm not what do you call it? I'm not a deaf mute. You trying to blink if you under distress? You do. Who is Dagon? Give me something to throw at this nigga. This might got milk in it. Who is Dagon? How does he relate to Yahuwah? Bring me that right there, little Bible study. Little Bible study. Bring me that right there. How does he relate to Yahuwah? You're slowing us down. We're trying to make a point. You know what type of God he was? The Roman Catholics the Pope wear him on his head all the time. You know what the the Pope hat look like sometimes? What it look like to you? That's if you can remember. I know that ain't something that just seared in your brain. It looked like a fish. Because Dagon is the fish god. See, buddy, I mentioned this here because they were talking about the Anunnaki earlier. See, they try to say that they, you know what I'm talking about? Are the Sumerians and the Akkadians. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this here, right? Hold on. See, they have it on their Bible covers. They do. That's right, pagan fish god. And they say, and the Pope is still used. The Pope is kind of representative, as Brother Omar said, for Dagon. You know what I'm saying? Because the Catholic Church comes from Babylonian pagan sun worship. And this is where the Anunnaki and all these people come from. I'm not telling you there's anything wrong reading this stuff, but I'm going to tell you this here, and I'm going to be dead honest with you. If your faith ain't that strong, I wouldn't recommend you reading anything that has to do with anything of the cultures of the Near East. Because if your faith ain't that strong and you read that stuff, you'll put the book down. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to think that those stories are so closely in line to the word that you're going to think the word ain't true. And you're only going to think that because you didn't really believe the word to begin with. And when you see them things, you're going to be like, oh, like I was telling them earlier, they say the Tower of Babel. See, they mixed the languages because Enlil said human beings were too loud. You know what I say? Let's say the Onan and niggas arguing that Adam have a belly button. But if these are gods, why would gods need to have all of these intricate things that humans possess? Why would a god need to? You understand what I'm saying? Because at that point, they're not gods, which means Adam would be a demigod and not the son of God. You know what a demigod is? A demigod is, let me get the proper definition. That's right. We finna read it anyway. Get 1 Samuel 5:1. Hercules is a demigod. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Moana was. And that dude was a demigod.
See, a demigod, such as a minor deity, the offspring of a god and a mortal, or a mortal raised to divine rank. So if we say angels had sex with women, that means their offspring would have been demigods. Yeah, then that's what they say, that any of those things. Amuna mentioned Ra. Ra would be an example. Well, Horus would be an example of a demigod. I think Ra also. The Egyptians had too many gods. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what they go to the Bible saying. The gods, the ancient gods, is just
that's right,
sons that the giants, and their cultures are explaining that the giants who they were.
Yeah, well, a lot of the ancient cultures is really that they deified actual people. You know what I'm saying? And then told stories like that. And because people hate Yahuwah, to be quite honest with you, it'd be funny to me because they'll be like, man wrote the Bible, but then you believe these accounts from these tablets and all these people over here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that came first, so it's got to be true. And as I told the gentleman earlier, because I'm going to tell you this here, because this is the truth, and only Hebrews promote this, that the Bible is the oldest text in the world, because the Bible doesn't say that Hebrew is the oldest language in the world. The Word doesn't say that. The Word doesn't even express what language Adam spoke. The Word doesn't express what language any of the sons of Adam spoke, for that matter. You know what I'm talking about? But that's neither here nor there. I mentioned that for this reason and this reason alone. The oldest of a text does not designate this here. This is something that y'all already done learned. In Genesis 4:25, Seth begat who? And with Enos, men began to do what? Call on the name of Yahuwah. When we get to Amalek, or however you pronounce this nigga name, when he ran across Abraham, what did Yahuwah say to this man in a dream? Because what was his nationality, this man? He was a Canaanite. The man was in Egypt. What did Yahuwah say to him when he said, man, I ain't know that was his wife? What did Yahuwah say to him? Matter of fact, let me say this. Amalek said, in my integrity, I did this. What did Yahuwah respond back to him with? I withheld. So if he withheld him from sinning against her, that means that there were people on earth, clearly, because this man was not a Hebrew. Clearly, there were people in the earth at that time who knew Yahuwah and knew his standard. Because people could scream who he gave his laws to. You are a jackass. You think this man's law started on Sinai? If you think that, you stupid. And I mean that sincerely. You stupid. So you think with all human history, people just were floating around with nothing until Mount Sinai? The laws were a part of the covenant that he made with Abraham's seed. But that's not what he promised Abraham. He never promised Abraham a law once. Find it. Search it. Look for it. Where did he promise him? I'm going to give you 613 instructions. I'm going to give you some instructions on how to build my tabernacle and my mercy seat. You think that's what he promised? That man didn't promise him none of that. I'm going to promise you what animals not to eat. That's not a promise. Those are instructions. Those are two different things. You know what I'm talking about? How would Joseph know not to commit adultery? How would he know not to do? How would he be and say, I will not sin against my God? How would he know to do that? How does Cain and Abel know how to bring an offering? Where did they get that information from? How would Noah know what clean and unclean animals were? It doesn't say that he showed them. He told them, and he knew what to get. How did he know that? You understand what I'm telling you? How could man's hearts be evil continually? How could you corrupt the way of Yahuwah if you don't know the way of Yahuwah to corrupt it? You can't corrupt what you don't know. We know way is Darak. That's a way of life. So what way of life were they corrupted? You have to know. See, this is the thing with Yahuwah. Yahuwah will not willingly destroy the ignorant. You don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to take you out. He going to make sure you know before he take you out. I'm trying to think of a couple. Obviously, you know that Judah and his son. How would they know to raise a son up to their dead brother? That's an obscure statue. You know what I'm talking about? That's not a readily thrown statute out here. Man, you know how many stupid niggas I done heard talking about you supposed to raise up a seed to your brother because your brother and your brother already got kids? I'm like, how stupid are you? They already got kids. He don't got to take his brother's wife. And just dumb on top of it. You know what I'm talking about? You can't raise no seed up to this one. This woman 47. It's over. It's over for her. Dudes be talking about go be a father to the fatherless. Them children ain't orphans. They daddy cross town. Dudes be quick to call somebody fatherless. This little boy got a cell phone with his daddy number in it. He could call him. Just because that woman ain't with that man don't mean that boy fatherless. Do you know what it means to be fatherless? Hell no. I'm talking about really be fatherless. Not be fatherless because your daddy a deadbeat. Fatherless because your daddy dead. And not died when you were a grown man. But died when you were 6. Died when you were 7. You know, that's different. That's different when you were a child and you staring at a casket and your daddy in it. Most people ain't never experienced that. Your daddy just didn't come around. For whatever reason. Indeed. He said, men, write all the resources that people used to research and study. Absolutely. Come on with 1 Samuel 5.
So when the Philistines took the ark of Elohim, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod rose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of Yahuwah. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. When they arose early on the morning, behold, Dagon fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of Yahuwah. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands cut off upon the threshold. Only Dagon was left to him. Therefore, neither the
he cut Dagon's whole body up.
Neither the priests of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house on the threshold of Dagon and Ashdod unto this day.
They said they wouldn't even come in there no more.
But the hand of Yahuwah was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them and smote them with arrows.
He said he gave them hemorrhoids.
And the coast thereof.
See, they don't want to talk about he's a storm god. Shoot, he definitely a storm. He put a storm right on their behind. Well, he gave them hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoid. Hold on, let me give y'all some more of this stuff, man. We were talking about his right here, man. Again, this is the Anunnaki, a group of deities from ancient Samaria, the Akkadians, the Assyrians, and Babylonians. That's why you see so much influence of them. Remember, right? Because we in Babel. When I say in Babel, I'm not talking about that America is Babylon. I'm talking about you're in a Babylonian culture. Babylonian culture is the prevailing culture worldwide. It's not just America. When I say Babylonian culture is the prevailing culture worldwide, meaning the pantheon or the instruction of the worship of Babylonian deities is the most prevalent. You know what I'm saying? Is there Egyptian influences in the world? Certainly. But when you look at the 3 main religions in the world, which they call the Abrahamic faiths, I'm not talking about what the words say now. I'm not talking about what the words say. I'm talking about what Judaism does, what Christianity does, and what Islam does is Babylonian pagan sun worship. Now, just because these deities don't necessarily originate from Babylon, Babylonian principles. You understand? That's why you look at it's Babylon. Because Babylon was an idolatrous place. You know this from Jeremiah. You know this from Revelation. You know this from Isaiah. It was an idolatrous place. They worshipped a multitude of idols there. Probably worshipped more idols there than the Egyptians did. The year. Do you know how many days it was, Doris? 60. The Arabs had a god for every day of the year. 360. They had a different god for every day. This is something that your children should know. Your children should know that the months of the year come from the worship of pagan deities, and they should be able to run that off. Know that the days of the week come from pagan deities. As it is Saturday, you know what pagan deity that is, don't you? Thursday is for Thor. You know what I'm talking about? Friday, I forget his name, but I think it's Frieden or some old stupid junk like that. Yeah, something like that. It escapes me because I ain't thought about it too tough. You know what I'm talking about? Sunday is obvious. You know what I'm talking about? I forget Monday and Tuesday. Aligned with Thor. Because Thor was a warrior type dude. Mars is the god of war. You know what I'm talking about? That's what these people was on. They were worshiping their gods. That's why Jeremiah says, has the people changed their God? These people have never stopped worshiping their gods. You may have stopped worshiping yours, but they never stopped worshiping theirs. You know what I'm saying?
But to your point, what you brought up about
Moon Day. I appreciate that.
about them worshiping the people, I was reading something how they were saying they worship, the people start worshiping the Noah based on the fact
the stories.
Yeah, how long they lived. Like they say he lived 350 years after the flood. And I was just thinking about the demigod thing. Like,
yeah, they lived a long time.
People who lived a long time.
If y'all remember, Judas used to talk about that stuff all the time. See, this is when you have to actually see. I was into this stuff. See, when you don't know the word, this is what I would tell them when they were finna get ready to debate. If you know the word, anybody who telling you that these ancient deities is Yahuwah or that the Hebrews hijacked somebody else's culture, you could dismantle them. But the average person conversations, because most of the people who coming at the word like that, they only have a base level understanding of what the words say. They're going to pick a few certain things and try to make that be something that the text is not actually saying. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know that. See, it's not even knowing that stuff. That's how I knew the word was true when the word came, because I already knew all this other stuff before I was in the word. I ain't have no root to the word for me to be like, oh, I'm not gonna look at that. This is good against the Bible. This is demon stuff. I ain't never had no thought and give a damn. For me, it was simply nothing other than history. History, period. That's it. This is what these people did. It's called humanities. Did you take humanities? You ain't go to school. You took humanities book? You went to college, didn't you? I'm telling you, Doris. Oh, I didn't know you was in there. I don't know your life, nigga. Rolling your eyes like I knew you was in college. You ain't tell me that. I didn't mean to offend you. I definitely forgot about that. You took humanities yet? You taking your prereqs, or you going straight to the kid and caboodle? The prerequisites. Oh, don't worry about it. Straight to the point.
What you're making.
Yeah, that's just straight to the point.
Took a boodle for 1,000.
She said, I'll take a boodle for 1,000. Oh, I don't know how they thought he run either, Mika. But I took, look at, man. Yeah, you say humanity courses are prereqs. Yeah, definitely. Listen, I took all the humanity courses I could take in every religion class I could take because I was just into that. But I told y'all that before. There's no way to monetize that. There's no way I can make money out of this. Unless you're going to be a professor. I didn't want to teach niggas church. They don't pay enough. You know what I'm talking about? You know how long you got to be to teach to become a college professor before you start making the big bucks? I ain't want to teach that long. Yeah, shoot, but this is 2000. This is 1900. Yeah, you got to be in school forever. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sitting there looking at that 8 and 12 years of education for the sell some crap. You know what I'm talking about? Straight like that. I don't want to be in here a perpetual student with mounds and mounds of debt. I gotta sell crack to get out of debt. What you say?
You know, you get an education.
Yeah, but when you look at humanity and you take them classes and you start seeing these gods, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's only niggas on the internet that try to make these cultures seem like they the same. Because when you actually take these courses in universities and that, they kind of playing plainly show you that none of these cultures are the same. They may have some similarities on the surface, but when you actually pull your shovel out and dig, you see that they were not remotely the same. Not even close. You know what I'm saying? But it is right there, right? It said they were in the post-Akkadian period. I told you the descendants of An and Ki, the gods of heaven, and Yahuwah had a wife. This is where that come from. Here goes some pictures of them. Hold on. It's a 4 copper alloy depicting these niggas, man. Look at these niggas, man. You really think this Yahuwah, man? Look at that. I ain't faking with it. That's what hold him. That's what hold us.
They hold them back now for
Shoot, they're staying up for. Let me see if y'all can see that, man. But that's some of their deities right there. That's some of their deities right there.
You gotta pop it out.
Oh, you just type in Anunnaki. You can spell it Anunnaki. The Anunnaki. It's too much information to go through this here. But like, how many of y'all done ever heard of the Epic of Gilgamesh? You know what I'm saying? That's a part of, that's their flood story. I've read that before. It's been a long time, so I can't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't remember nothing from it. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, the Epic of Gilgamesh is their flood story. Matter of fact, every culture has a flood story. The aspect of the flood story, because people look like, how are they going to write about that? Do you know why Genesis is even written? What's the purpose of the book of Genesis? It's from an Israelite perspective. Just copycats masquerading as angels of light. Definitely knockoff versions. Do y'all know? I'm talking about sit back this from an Israelite's perspective.
Back then,
Just period.
I'll go say the time on the draw you
But you got to look at, right? They in the wilderness, right? They had no knowledge of anything. They didn't have any knowledge of Abraham. They didn't have any knowledge of Isaac. They didn't have any knowledge of Jacob. They didn't have any knowledge of the men of the tribes, what they come from. They didn't even have any knowledge of how to end up here. Because remember, it's a Pharaoh rose that knew not Joseph. So if these people didn't know Joseph, you think the Israelites knew? They didn't know. They didn't know nothing about no creation. We know they knew something. We know somebody knew something about creation that wasn't the Israelite. Who was that? Not even. I'm talking about overall from Genesis and Malachi. It's a man who specifically references Adam. It's a man who Job knew. He said, "Will I hide my iniquity?" Adam. Job knew about Adam. You know what I'm talking about? Get it for him, man. Read it for him. Job 31 and 33. Job wasn't no Israelite. That means he had no book of Genesis either. So how did he know to even make that statement? And Job was talking about all the laws he was keeping. So I kept Job on the top. Now, how Job knew about all these? Didn't we read Job say, if I lay with another man's wife, if I don't feed the poor, if I didn't do this? Because remember, the tree of knowledge and good and evil is the law. All them people had it. You got to be a plumb dumb fool when that man said they done transgressed the laws and broken the covenant on the earth. You think that was just Israel? That's Israelite teaching. That's One West teaching. That junk is terrible. When it comes to that particular point, that's terrible. That he only gave his laws to Israel. You are an idiot. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be repeating that. It's embarrassing. What PMC say? Take that monkey stuff off. You embarrassing us. Ain't that right, boy? You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? I know you don't. Come on. Job 31 and 30. That funny to you?
See, if I cover my transgressions, does Adam?
If I do what?
Cover my transgressions.
If I do what?
Cover my transgressions.
Well, let's take a look at it. Genesis what? 3 and 6. Let's see if he covered his transgression. How does Job know this? That's what I'm talking about. That ain't just something random. He's very specific. Come on, Genesis 26.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her and did eat.
And what they do?
And the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Is that not Adam trying to cover his transgression? Then he said, come on back to Job 31 and 33. Mika said Abraham wasn't even an Israelite, so to try to make Job one is crazy work. It's beyond terrible when you start to really pay attention to the text, is what it says. Look at that, man. Job 31 and 33. Don't look at me.
If I cover my transgressions as Adam by hiding my iniquity in my bosom, did I fear a great multitude, or did the contempt of families terrify me?
How did he know that? Let's pause. The creation of the world. Does not Yahuwah go to breaking down to Job, the whole creation? Well, let's look at it and see. Job 38 and 1. I don't know what you did, cuz.
Then Yahuwah took Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkened counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now your loins like a man, for I will demand of you and answer you me. Where was you when I laid the foundations of the earth?
Where were you what?
When I laid the foundations of the earth.
Ain't that what Genesis 1 and 1 telling you about? What else he say?
Declare if you have understanding. Who have laid the measures thereof, if you know, or who have stretched the line upon it?
Pause. Let's look at Psalms 19 and 1. You're all right, boy.
The heavens declare the esteem of Elohim, and the firmament show his handiwork. Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night show knowledge. No speech nor language, their voice is not heard. Their line is going out through all the earth.
Ain't that what he just said in Job? I'm trying to make this jump be the same time about a nigga came on a spaceship. You trying to make people act like God? What God? If you a God, what you need sex for? Ain't nobody ever asked that question. That's when people, because you know sex is spiritual. Let me be the bearer of bad news. Ain't nothing spiritual about having sex. I don't care how good that vagina might seem. I don't care how good you might feel like he throwing at me. Ain't nothing spiritual about that activity. And you know how you know ain't nothing spiritual about that activity? Because you are secreting human fluids in the process of that activity. A woman's vagina is basically secreting a type of mucus. That's all that is. You are spitting out water, blood, and semen. You're thinking because you put your penis in a woman's vagina that some type of spiritual connection has been forged. You are a lustful idiot. And you need to reassess your life. Because you know what that thing like to say? Spirituality is supposed to take you to a what? A higher plane. You know what I'm talking about? If it was so spiritual, you wouldn't do it with any and everybody. Ain't nothing spiritual about that. And get what? Because if it's your loins, that means it's carnal. See, you need spirit. You don't need to have sex. You ain't got to do that. That's what you want to do. You know what I'm talking about? Uh-oh. I'm going to say Satan is spirit too, so there's that. You know what I'm talking about? But you got to think about stuff like that. That's what people like to say, soul ties. Your soul ain't tied to nobody. How your soul breath in your lungs? Ain't that what he said? He became a what? How he became a living soul? So your soul ain't tied to nobody. You tied to the feeling in your loins. Truth be told, you're really just emotionally attached. And you like to call that a soul tie. Because you don't want to deal with the fact that you have emotionally attached yourself to another human being. So therefore, you feel tied to this person. An emotional attachment, connections. Emotional attachment is how women, you know what I'm saying? Through murder, suicide. To be honest with you, emotional attachments is how women get beat up. Emotional attachments is how women women go out there and cut niggas' tires and bust windows and do all type of spiteful things to somebody. That's what emotional attachments do. That's right. It's the lust of the. Ain't nothing spiritual about it. Same way due to my smoking marijuana spiritual. How is smoking a herb spiritual, brother? You grew that with a seed in the dirt. If you needed dirt, why is weed spiritual but tobacco ain't? You smoke both of them. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't never seen none of y'all say, let me get a coca leaf and make some tea. Not some cocaine, some tea. I ain't never seen nobody say, let me get some coca and herbal tea, get some weed plants and some coca plants, and you know, your favorite, get you some Cereseed and some moringa.
You heard about that ayahuasca?
I have heard of it before.
I was saying, because it's a tea they supposed to be drinking. It's supposed to
Get you right.
put you on a spiritual plane.
Get you on a spiritual plane. You don't realize these spiritual plane is opening you up for demons to puffy you.
You went to Panama. You say you went to Panama.
I've heard of it.
Seen God.
See, but see what he talking about is the same thing like Joe Rogan like to talk about when they do DMT and when they do shrooms.
That's what they asked him. If he did shrooms, he was like, it ain't shrooms. He says
The trip is the high, is the spirit. That's right. That's right.
It's like it's associated. It gives you that feeling.
Yeah, it's the poppy plant, definitely. But that's what it is. It's the trip from the LSD. You thinking you seeing God, Satan like this here.
Nah, for real.
He like this here. I got me one.
Look, why would you have
But
to
they
do
gave him a
that?
piece that surpassed all understanding.
He gave him a piece that surpassed all. Next thing you know, you in the back room with Puffy.
Why was Puffy here?
Why is Puffy here? Why is he here? You know, I done heard people say they done had demons sodomize them. I'd be like, why would a demon want to sodomize you? No, I'm talking about some people say they like been spiritually sodomized. Like they felt themselves being physically violated. You know what I'm saying? No, I've heard people, not even people who were being funny, like the people dead serious, like, hey man, I'm in the bed and I feel myself about to be violated by nigga, like I was absolutely terrified. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be cool with that and hear a woman say a demon tried to do that to her and nobody would bat an eye. I mean, I'm talking about in general. Nobody bats an eye. We around here talking about angels have sex with women. If they demons, if they unclean spirits, they unrestrained. They willing to. I'm committing idolatry. Listen, right? I say that because we say demons making niggas murder, making niggas do all this here, but booty hole is where he draw the line. You gotta take it for everything.
That's right.
Now he got morals. Now I got godly laws. Now I'm just not doing this. No, man, ain't no demon in you. You just a faggot. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no demon in you. You just a murderer. Ain't none of that in you, boy. No, it's something in you. But it ain't God and it ain't no demon, nigga. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, now the succubus and incubus, that's something totally different. You know, that's them red pills and boy, the succubus. Now, succubus ain't what you would see as forth as a plane, but a succubus is a woman who suck all your energy out. You know what I'm talking about? In the literal sense, like she's draining. And when once she done filled up on her supply, it's what women on the internet like to call a narcissist. And these days, at the time, you gonna be destroyed and ruined. Now, these niggas ain't got no sexualism on them. These niggas just freaks. Niggas just freaks. I ain't putting, remember, right? If the demon is God gonna judge. Because if you didn't do it and the demon did it, should Yahuwah judge you or the demon? No, that's you, nigga. What he told you in James 1. He said, for when he has been doing, I receive a crown of life. He said, let no man. Oh, she said, demons in the flesh. Oh, most definitely. Desires. Happening around to my man. I got a lust demon. You ain't got no lust demon. You just a nasty nigga. You got nigga talking about I got a cigarette demon. Hey, you got a cigarette demon. You know, black folks come up with all type of stuff. You know, I bet you sometimes that on me. I bet they do though. Like, bro, they always blaming us. But it's good because they be in heaven accusing you. So they just get back what they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Ain't it what he said he do? Revelation 12:9. Hey, Muffin Neil, why you over here touching stuff? Missy too. Missy too. Where your two? It's right there. It's gone. You kept it. Who hit your chin? Oh, this is what the question that Mika asked. Can demons influence people? Now, I want to hear you, gentlemen, ladies, except for Doris. Not for real. If you have any verses that you would be able, that you would want to use for positive or negative for that question. Also on the stream or even on Club. It's an unclean spirit. Did he influence her? What's the definition of influence? Let's look and see.
Well, Satan kind of came from the sense of the word.
That definitely did happen. Influence, that definition is the capacity or something. Meaning of influence, the power to have an important effect on someone or something. If someone influences something, they are changing a person and thing in an indirect way, but an important way. Another word for influence is authority, credit, prestige. And why are you doing that? Now you must go. Authority? No, they don't. No, they don't. No, demons have. What do demons have authority over? Do demons have prestige? Do they have weight? Go ahead.
When the unclean spirit is in the person, you need harmony and stuff like that. The unclean spirit has an authority over that individual's body.
This to influence to harm themselves, but at the end of the day, as you know, that's the only thing an unclean spirit can do is to harm you. Their job is to actually torment the person who is being possessed by him.
That's what he said. That means
That's not authority, though. That means this is a punishment for your wickedness.
I was just looking at it like, this is your punishment. Now this demon, you got this.
The reason why he don't have authority,
standpoint of what Jaden besides killing.
Yahuwah let him say that you could try him, but you can't kill him. But he didn't have authority over Job to influence Job's behavior.
Oh yeah.
No, that's remember when you talking about authority. No, I'm talking about when you look at the definition of authority as related to a synonym.
The only thing I would think of was when the lying spirit that he put in the prophet.
But see, the prophet, but the lying spirit was sent because Ahab already wanted to believe a lie. So let me serve up what you want and let me see if you'll go for it.
I got you, but he said it because of the spirit, the lie. That's all I'm saying.
Now, we talk about this about Judas. Because remember, it says Satan entered into Judas. You know what I'm talking about? But Judas was already intent on doing that because he had already covenanted with them people. You know, it's reading that they done sat down and ate. And then it says Satan entered into him. But if you remember, when you look in the narrative in Matthew 26, they hadn't sat down and ate yet. And he had already covenanted with influence you. A demon can tempt you. All Satan is tempt. Influence is the temptation of who you're around. Read that for him, man. 1 Corinthians 15 and 33.
Say, be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners. Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of Elohim.
So one of the first ways you can see how you can be corrupt by evil communications is that you don't have what? The knowledge of God to fill your chamber with precious and pleasant riches, which also so that you're not wise because you're not strong. And why aren't you wise? Because you don't have skill. And why don't you have skill? Because you don't trust in Yahuwah. Tell them what evil community. You get a snare for your what? For your soul. Just like he told you don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. The same way he told Israel to stay away from them people because they will cause you to stop following me. Because one thing about human beings, how human beings are, is that human beings are sociable creatures. And through that socialization process, you tend to take on the mindset, characteristics, and behavior of the people who are around you. That's why people say, you know, birds of a feather and all that type. Because you're not going to tell me you're not a whore and all your friends are. Because if you weren't a whore, their behavior, their conversation, and everything they got going on would disgust you. And it would disgust you to the point that you would remove your regular basis. Even though you ain't popped that thought pocket quite yet, you agree with that behavior. It resonates with you because you're a whore. And you just haven't had the opportunity to whore. It's the same way that there's no way in the world you can't not be a killer and hanging with a bunch of killers. You can't resonate with them people. So either you're going to leave them people alone or you're going to become a killer too, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to continue to be around these people. When you find yourself in the word, man, and you could be, because this man telling you this is Deuteronomy 7, what he talking about. This is Solomon, what he talking about. Sinners will corrupt your behavior. I don't give a damn how strong you think you is. Because we've had this plenty of times over the year. You telling me you stronger than Solomon. And Solomon wiser than everybody on this stream, in this house, and on this clubhouse combined times 10. And if he got took down by fooling with sinners, I don't know how you think you gonna win. I don't know how you think you gonna win. That's pure arrogancy and pride on your part. Come on with it, man.
Or evil was kakos of a bad nature.
A bad nature.
Troublesome, injurious, pernicious, destructive, baneful.
Pernicious.
And communications is homiliatus, companionship, intercourse, communion.
Now,
communication.
That man say, now how you going evil communion? That means these people are commune with this type of behavior. What I mentioned last night, commune with your own heart, whether you be in the faith or not. Commune upon your own bed, be still. And sin not. That man say, boy, people who commune, all that is Proverbs 4. You ain't know? You know about Proverbs 4? You drink the wine of violence. You probably seen that song. You didn't even know he was talking about the word, did you? You got a murderer, blood on your shoulder. All y'all niggas need to leave here. I bet Callie know. You know what I'm talking about, Callie? You ain't got to cover your face. You know. So you don't know. Damn it! Give me your phone. Somebody give me your phone. Who got Apple Music on it? Dreads. Great niggas. Island music. Dance hall. You know what I'm saying? We already read that. Come on to well, Dagon. You did. Proverbs 4 and 14. Listen what you say.
Enter not into the path of the wicked, go not in the way of evil.
Enter not in the path of who?
Of the wicked.
And he did told you evil communicate. Listen what else he say.
Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it and pass away.
For they sleep not.
Except they have done mischief.
And their sleep
is taken away.
Unless they cause.
To fall.
That's what Judas wanted. You know what I'm talking about? They couldn't sleep unless they hadn't done some mischief, for they eat the what?
The bread of wickedness.
And they drink the wine. That's one of the lines he used in Murderer. In Murderer, the man was singing Bible for most of the song. Because he said they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. He literally said it. He said only the righteous won't be insecure. There's a lot of songs that niggas just listen to, and these people be quoting word. But when you sit back and look at it, he's telling you that when You around evil communications, these people are eating the bread of wickedness, they drinking the wine of violence, and they can't sleep until they've done some type of foolishness. You can't be godly and be around people who move like that, because eventually it's going to be a snare and a trap to your soul. Then in your law, he told you to stay away from them people. He told you in Judges, I'm going to lead them people there just for them to be a snare to your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be aware of that, man. There's certain people, that man can lead certain birds. You know what I'm talking about? A thorn right in your side. You trying to keep these people around. You don't realize you keeping these people around. The devil like, yes, I'm going to get that nigga. Let him go is just not toss somebody in a dumpster. You know what I'm saying? Intimately involved with you in the capacity that I have been previously is detrimental to my to your family. I ain't going to tell you to get rid of nobody. You better get rid of your own wicked self. And then after that, your eyes should be clear to know who you should be around and who you should not be around on a regular basis based off the level of temptation that you're going to encounter. That's it. Temptation in their face. The man say, watch and pray, lest you what? Because the flesh is what? And the ruach is willing. Your flesh weak. What did that mean? Leave the flesh to its own devices, and the flesh do that which is contrary to God. I mentioned that earlier. Because you're supposed to be able to know that. That flesh gonna go to what feel good every time. The flesh gonna go to what look good every time. It's the flesh is not gonna consider that I could die. The flesh is not going to consider this is not according to the rules of the house. That's why he say prepare your work without making fit for the field and then build your house. So you got to sit down and count the cost whether you got sufficient to pay. Ain't that what the Lord said? Let's look at it, Luke 14:26. See, sometimes people hear things like this here, man, they take it personally, this, that, then the third. You got to consider your life on the line. See, the hardest decision that most people have to make, and it's because of emotional attachment, is the fact that I might can't fool with that you go tell. And it's not even necessary. I told you this before. You can have some people that on the natural side of things, they good. But in heaven, they not. Can influence you. You have to know that. You can't be looking at that's my mama. Okay, and what? Your law said if your mom had a different mama out of pocket, you supposed to have been the first one to put a rock upside her head. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I'm not telling you, oh, go stone your mama, meaning that you couldn't go along with what your mama did simply because that was your mama. She looked, wait, he been around there working with another guy. Bah! Look at, yeah. And then they catch you out there, they hit you with a broom. Well, I seen in this video a nigga getting stoned for real. His wives ran up on him. I guess they was his wives. Those rocks. Well, they had brooms. They had threw this nigga on the ground, punching him. I don't know what he did, but I seen the first one, big old rock. I said, Lord of mercy. Man, baby was pretty strong. That wasn't no small rock, boy. She one-handed him. I said, she must have been mad with him.
They still do that.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look like it was in America. I can tell you that. Nah, these would look like Arabs.
It's a tribe in Africa. Like, you cheat on your wife, you cut off your...
Oh, they do. I mean, in some countries, it is illegal to commit adultery, and you will go to jail. You know what I'm talking about? Matter of fact, my man was talking about that about Singapore. They were like in Singapore, or Thailand. It might have been one or two, because he said he was over there. And he was like, yeah, man, you got to be careful with them women, because they all be in your face if you a black man skinning and grinning. And they was like, yeah, boy, you sleep with a man's wife over there, you going to jail. They don't care if you knew or not. That's why they be telling you can't be, but you going overseas, you better know the customs of the place you going, or stay going where the white folks at. Keep your black behind to Paris and Italy and doggone Greece, nigga. In the UK, because you take yourself anywhere else, man, the people not on that. You know what I'm saying? Now, and you know that had came to pass like you, man. The people don't care about none of that. Oh, nigga, you going to jail. Straight like that. You better know where you're going. We have had that conversation before. See, that when people come out traveling, your ancestors didn't travel. This is the only time in human history that human beings have been traveling to different lands consistently on a regular basis. That has not ever happened throughout the course of human history. You know what I'm saying? I know people like this tell about, like they tell you, travel for culture to themselves and in their lands. They didn't want to go to nobody else's land if it didn't serve some type of financial purpose.
She had a lot of tattoos. She said she had 25. People was like literally pointing this. They don't wear like long neck. They don't wear nothing. She said people everywhere she went was like pointing, like tapping they. She got tattoos with women and stuff, and I allowed to walk around with them.
No, they don't play that. Don't play that at all. And you want to run your happy behind over there. And the only reason why you want to go over there because a bunch of sluts and hoes told you this was the place to go. Not telling you they going over there to get peed on and defecated on by a camel. They ain't telling you that. That's why she always over there. It's a rich Arab man doing all type of nasty stuff to this hoe. Yeah, man, they don't tell you that though. But no, all jokes aside though, when you dealing with ancient civilization, just look at it. These people didn't go from country to country unless it served some type of political or financial benefit. Other than that, ain't nobody talking about, yeah, you know what, baby, let's go to Babylon for the weekend. They didn't do that. Yeah, a war, that's it. They didn't do that. For one, and for two, for what? I don't want to go over there. You know why I don't want to go over there? Because how the Babylonians live is not how we live. And I don't want to go over there with you. Know what I'm saying? So people pretty much just stayed where they was at. Even when you go further down, Alexander the Great and all this type of stuff. Of course, the advent of travel, how we have travel, has clearly revolutionized your ability to get from point A to point B. That's why I say this is the only time in human history where absolutely it's still on the books in a lot of states. They just don't enforce it.
Yeah, they said the Arab countries are still only for adultery.
Quran he said we got to go overseas living in the UK to get some heat. It's always cold over here. I don't believe it. Just dreary. Imagine you ain't have since antiquity to now. Them people didn't want to travel. They didn't want to know somebody else's culture. They didn't care about your culture. They didn't want to look at your artifacts. They didn't give a damn about what you had there. See, now we in America, you just got the sightseer effect. I want to see stuff. You know what I'm saying? What niggas like to say to go to another country to become cultured. How you become cultured. Traveling doesn't make you cultured. You know how does it make you cultured? Because you're not ingratiating yourself in the culture of the place that you're going. Learn about the way that they live. Learn about the history, how they lived for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. You can do that in your living room. You know what I'm saying? But of course, it's always. Now, when I say live there, I'm talking about actually live there with people who, like I said, if you were to go to New Orleans and you want to understand the culture of New Orleans, you want to go to somebody who's been for 4 or 5 generations. You know what I'm saying? Not a nigga who was just 20 years old. He can't tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? But a 70, 80-year-old grandmother who done, you know what I'm talking about? She can tell you about this here, man, while you move around with it. She can, you know what I'm saying? That's different. That's different. You know what I'm saying? But you traveling, you there for a week. How much coaching you gonna get in a week? 2 weeks. You would need to live there. Nigga, we get taught Greek culture every goddamn day. I don't need to go over there for that. Say that. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie to me and say you're going to get culture. Then why you want to get culture, white people culture? What I never understood. I can see why they would say it. Why you want their culture? You live in a country that teaches you their culture every day. I don't want no more Western theology. I'm sick of it. That boy said, I'll swim. Boy, you gonna freeze in that water. Nigga couldn't pay me to visit the UK. I ain't going nowhere where it's cold all the time. I see they found that lady y'all were talking about. Y'all was in distress. You know who I'm talking about? These nuts. Kate Middleton. They said she was missing.
I didn't know.
I didn't either.
Didn't care. So,
I didn't either.
Wait, who?
Middleton. That's what that lady name is.
they let it bear to the
I guess so.
I don't know. Harry, Charlie, I don't know.
I don't keep up with them people. They ain't none of my business. They ain't my monarchy. I don't give a damn. Hell, I don't keep up with Sleepy Joe. You know what I'm talking about? I
You
don't-
don't keep up.
Clear. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Shoot, I ain't even know what people was really Donald Trump, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? One thing about it, that boy not gonna stop. You know what I'm talking about? He don't stop till he dead. A nigga who go outside with a possum on his head, that nigga got possum pubic hair on his head, boy. That nigga's not gonna stop. I'm talking about that boy ain't gonna stop. Any grown man who willing to come outside with that bad of a comb over, it's just absolutely cares about nothing. Huh? I'm talking about, man, they're wild. Man. They say Donald J. Trump say he ain't going down without a fight. You know what I'm talking about? That junk crazy because we're gonna have to look at a whole, well, because I don't watch TV, that's how I miss that stuff. You know what I mean? When I say TV, meaning network television with commercials and ads, you know what I'm saying? And all that stuff, because that's where all that stuff gonna come from. You know what I'm saying? I don't got you, I got premium, so I don't see ad, but it's gonna be 2 80-year-old niggas like this here. Man, I'll pay money to watch Sleepy Joe debate this nigga. I'd pay to go there to see that in person. I ain't tell you no lie. That's gonna be grade A. That's gonna be top notch television. What? I'm surprised he ain't dead yet, and we ain't got this whore for a president. I ain't seen that hoe either. She said Trump ran his corporation for what it is. I can say that. I used to watch The Apprentice as a kid. I ain't never watched The Apprentice. You usually Doris used to watch it. You used to watch it? So you ain't watched The Apprentice. You watch it on reruns? I don't blame you. I wouldn't watch it either. Come on, Sid.
If any come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children,
Luke 14:26.
and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Definitely.
Whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Can't.
For which of you intending to build a tower, sit not down first and count the cost?
Yes, that's why you got to prepare your work, but you got to count the cost. Come on.
Whether you have sufficient to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Lest happy after you have laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all that and behold, begin to mock him, saying this man began to build and was not able to finish.
He was not able to finish. Remember what Moses said in the wilderness to Yahuwah when all your enemies say you brought these people out here just to kill us. When that man tell you in Luke 9:23, take up your stake daily and follow him, you got to count the cost of you willing to do that. That's something you willing to do. Now, of course, I don't think any of y'all ever built a house. When I say built a house, I'm talking about like built a house. I'm talking about like empty lot, squared, poured from the drywall. You know what I'm talking about? Ran the wires. You know what I'm talking about? Did the painting. Installed the flooring. You know what I'm talking about? You ever seen it done? That's a hell of work, ain't it? I say when it's a hell of work, meaning the skill level of each trade involved. You know what I'm saying? And each trade has to do what? Seamlessly work together. You know what I'm talking about? You got your foundation layers, which of course is your apostles. Before you do that, give me Matthew. Hey, cuz you slobbing on your lips.
So when Yahushua came into the coast of Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say you are John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others say Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said unto them, but whom say you that I am? Simon Peter answered and said, you are the Mashiach, the son of the living Elohim. Yahushua answered and said unto him, who are you, Simon Barjona? For flesh and blood have not revealed it unto you, but my Abba which is in Shamahim. And I say also unto you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church.
Upon this rock, I'm gonna build my what?
My church.
Build my what?
My church.
I didn't know you built churches. I didn't know you built circles.
And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Come on.
And I will give unto you the keys of the kingdom of Shamahim.
Okay, that's good. Come over here to Isaiah 28 and 15 is sufficient. We got to read one more synagogue, don't we? We got to read about Sardis. You know about Sardis, boy? Yeah, I knew you wasn't asleep. Pick your head up. That funny?
Oh no.
Come on, man. Isaiah 28 and 15.
Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. We have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore, thus saith you, Elohim.
What he said?
I lay in Zion for a foundation of
You
stone.
lay in Zion and what?
A foundation of stone.
A chief what?
A tried stone, a precious corner, a sure foundation. He that believes shall not make haste.
Tell him what foundation mean, man, on the house.
Yes, to found, to fix, to establish, to lay foundation.
To found, to fix foundation. Let's go over here to Revelation 21. Let me make sure I get you going straight on to the point. There it is. Yeah, 21 and 9 is fine.
And there came unto me one of the seven Malachim, which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, come here, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the Ruach to a great high mountain, and showed me that great city, Kadash Jerusalem, descending out of Shamahim from Elohim.
Having
the esteem of Elohim, and her light like unto a stone, most precious.
Like 12 gates.
And at the gates 12 Malachim.
And names written
thereon, which are of the 12 tribes of the children of the
east.
3 gates.
On the north.
3 gates.
On the south.
3 gates.
On the west.
3 gates.
And the wall of the city
had 12 foundations.
How many foundations?
12 foundations.
How many foundations?
12 foundations.
And in them,
the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
Pause. Where is that at in your law? Where is that in your law?
The chiefs over the tribe of Israel.
So what?
Set the chiefs over the tribe of Israel.
Yes, sir.
Stones
Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you the names of each apostle, what they mean. Of course, you have Simon, which is Peter, which is a rock or a stone. So you got one solid, and then you got one who's manly. Then you got James. Of course, you know that's a planter. And then who else we got here? John, his brother, which you know, Yahuwah is merciful. Oh, good old Yachanan. And now Philip and Bartholomew and Thomas and Matthew. Philip, a lover of horses. Bartholomew, the son of Ptolemy. Thomas, a twin. Alphaeus. I skipped over Matthew. Changing. Matthew, and large-hearted, courageous. Simon the Canaanite and Judas Iscariot. So Simon is also, again, a rock of stone, another man, same thing. And of course, you know Judas is the is Judah. Now, who took Judas's place? Matthias. Remember, Judas means he shall be praised, because that's what Judah means. I'll get over here to Matthias. And that's gift of God. So yeah, remember Moses told them, no, they literally, you can find them 12 stones right now to this day. Look at Exodus 39 and 14. That Brother Martin put up there, man. See that? Yeah, he just said the same thing, the breastplates. Yeah, see those are for the, what you call it? The good stones. You know what I'm talking about? You shining stones. Come over here to Exodus 24 and 1.
You and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Yasharal worship you afar off.
Mm-hmm.
Moses alone shall come near to Yahuwah, but they shall not come near, neither shall the people go up with him. Moses came and told the people all the words of Yahuwah and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words Yahuwah have said will we do.
Listen.
Moses wrote all the words of Yahuwah and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hills, 12 pillars.
How many pillars?
12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Yasharal.
That's what you see him doing. Now, let me ask you this question. Why is it necessary for the 12 apostles to be the foundation of the wall? Why is that necessary? John 17 and 17. Why y'all thinking on that? Why is that necessary? We're finna wrap this up, though. Why is it necessary? What foundations? Tell them what foundations is in the Greek in Revelation 21 and 14. We just read it in Hebrew, right? Indeed.
The Melios that's laid down as the foundation of a building, a wall, or city.
A foundation of a building, a wall. You got to remember, who the first people to follow? Them. So come on, read John 17 and 17, boy. Boy, I know, boy. I'm talking about, boy. That boy Dino wouldn't let that boy slide. Where your Bible? Let's get back to the Bible. A lot of them old niggas ain't gonna use no phone. They say, touch the pages, nigga. Sniff it. Take it in the ambiance.
Sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth. As you have sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world.
Come on.
For their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth.
That's right.
Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word.
That's right.
That they all may be one, as you, Abba, and me, and I and you, that they also may be one in us. That the world may believe that you have sent me. And the esteem which you gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I and them, you and me, that they may be made perfect in one, that the world may know that you have sent me, and have loved them as you have loved me.
Remember, he said, do this for all those that believe on me by their word, right? So listen, Romans 16:25. This is just dealing with some of the elements of the knowledge to fill your chambers with precious riches and precious and pleasant riches, along with the fact of you need wisdom to. Remember, Yahushua had the wisdom to build the house when he said, destroy this house, I'll build it up in 3 days. But the house was established through understanding, because he opened their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. When he taught them, the whole book was about him. Fill their innermost parts with precious and pleasant riches. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Your task with building the house. Yes, and then that goes back to what we were talking about last night with Bezalel being cunning and skilled. and how being a wise man, being strong is through a skill, and that it takes certain skill to be a wise master builder. You know what I'm saying? I seen a dude today, he was saying, he mentioned, but he was more so talking about niggas wanting titles. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know the book of Job talk about that. Y'all know about that? You know about that though? In the book of Job? About titles. About men wanting to have titles. You know, I can't speak for a lot of Hebrews. Hebrews do it, but probably not as much as Christians. You know, people, I'm Dr. Reverend Apostle. You know what I'm saying? Evangelist such and such, prophetess such, high priest. Some brothers use pastor, they don't really like it. I'm moray such and such. Morah, a word that don't even exist. Morah is the female version of teacher, because moray means teacher. So these dudes let the women. So hold on, what I was gonna say? Come over here to Joe. I got you, Civic. Scrunch, I saw that. But see, he wasn't trying to, when you look at the totality of his thoughts on that, coming in after having all these titles. You move from a godly perspective. My job comes with a certain set of responsibilities and or authority job. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the title, it's not the job, it's the person. Sometimes the pay be the same. You ain't never told no lie. Right here, man. Job 32. I'll read verse 12, I guess. Yeah, I attended unto you, and behold, none of you that convinced Job or that answered his words, lest you should say, we have found out wisdom. Elohim thrust him down, not man. Now that he have directed words against me, neither will I answer him with your speeches. They were amazed, and they answered no more, and they left off speaking. And when I had waited, for they spake not, but stood still and answered no more, I will answer also my part. I also will show my opinion. For I am full of matter. The Ruach within me constrain me. Behold, my belly as wine have no vent. It is ready to like new bottles. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person. Neither let me give flattering titles unto men. Tell them what a flattering title is. What is a flattering title? You like to be flattered? That sounds like some junk women be saying, I'm so flattered. Oh, white women. I don't think young women say that. Y'all say that? I ain't talking to you, sir.
Flattering titles is to title, to surname, to be surname, to give an epithet, or cognomen, to give a flattering title.
He say, for I know that giving flattering titles, my maker would soon take me away. You know what I'm saying? See, let me tell you something. A pastor is a flattering title. Because what would that be? That's Ra. This is a shepherd, an overseer. What's flattering about that? It's only flattering in the eyesight of men because a lot of these boys fall down on their knees by rabbi, also teacher. That's it. That's not a flattering title. That's a job description. How we know that? If you a rabbi or a teacher, there's book to the because that's something, and we read that. That's something that he was telling his apostles, and there's a reason for that, and we'll read it in just a second. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's an apostle, what's flattering about that? It would see this is where it come in at. It's not that being an apostle, a pastor, an evangelist, a teacher is purpose of getting flattered. And that was just a segue into what Emma just asked about. Come over here to Matthew 23. See, praise the Lord. You see how that works? 23-1, man. You Matthew. Civic know about that. You used to walk down there just 23-1. Pelican Bay, nigga. He said, we ain't
I know I got it after a while.
Man, was CO. Civic looked like he's the edge fellas. Lockdown. 23-1. You ever walk? I'm in there.
the chill some more.
I'm in the booth, nigga, watching Sports Center. He ain't even watching one of the niggas.
Man, so these boys ain't treating us right in here, man.
I walk in there and be like, they ain't treating you right? Shoot, that's unfortunate. All I know is I'm being here, man. Don't bother me. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas got a problem, better sort it out. Don't use no knives, nigga. Throw some hands. Chunk them. You know what I'm talking about? Don't bother me, niggas. You smoking cigarettes, don't get caught. I ain't gonna come down. But if some other people catch you, I gotta do my job. Y'all niggas in here sodomizing each other. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all niggas in here selling drugs, whipping up buck. That's your business. Don't get caught.
You already got caught one time.
Man, I'm not trying to be fooled up with y'all. I'm not even trying to come out of this booth. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like this. I don't want to search your locker. I don't want to do nothing. That's it. I am y'all criminals, handle it. Sure. I'm gone. Y'all got to live with each other. I ain't got to live in here with you. I'm going home. Sort it out.
So they started getting on us in the prison. They was like, man, hey, I keep searching people's cells and they ain't taking nothing out. So they was like, bro, y'all got nothing out these cells.
I be like, how you want me to take, man? Nigga ain't got nothing in there.
Like, we know these people got stuff.
Well, then you go in there and search it. You know what I'm talking about? Here, you gonna tell me a nigga got contraband, this nigga ain't got nothing in here. You think I'm finding contraband and be like, sure, nigga, here, keep it. Nigga ain't got nothing in here. You know why he ain't got nothing?
This could be your trash, man. So I can just put out your trash on the cell.
Yeah. You ain't nobody. That's how niggas do it. When they don't want to, when they don't really care what you're doing, they telling you, I'm finna come search your cell tomorrow now. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. You stupid as hell, you got your phone in here. I told you I was coming. Because usually they want you to come with another CO, depending if it's your dorm. That's how you get caught.
You search it. All the COs did, man.
They was dropping that bag. They was dropping that bag in your account, man.
So check it. Come on. Look at Matthew 23:1. Let me hurry and get y'all out of here. Y'all trying to eat up all your leverage. That's real, brother Omar. It's delusions of grandeur. A lot of dudes feel, man, let me tell you something, man. Because you know everybody want to be a preacher, all this other type of stuff, man. But at the end of the day, it's a greater responsibility on your shoulders. Because not only are you going to be responsible for your own soul and how you live, but you're going to be responsible for everything that you permitted or did not instruct or did instruct to any and everybody. They want the responsibility. They want the perception of fame that come along with it under the guise of, I'm just trying to gather my people. You don't give a damn about the people. Who you think you fool? Matthew 23:1.
So they gave out shout to the multitude unto his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe and do. But do not do after their works.
Don't do after their works.
Not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne and laid on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at the feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues.
See, it wasn't the issue that you are a rabbi. He said you like to be seen and to be called rabbi by these people.
This is Rabbi, my great one,
my honorable sir,
or master,
my master, even
Mashiach,
and you're all what?
All you are brethren.
And call no man,
your father upon the earth,
for one is your father, neither be called you masters,
for is your master, Mashiach,
but he that is greatest among you
shall be your servant,
and whosoever shall
himself shall be abased,
and he that humbleth himself
shall be exalted.
That was his point about don't call nobody rabbi, is that these men were exalting themselves above the people, which is what he talking about with the flattering title. Like if somebody say, I'm a pastor, has he exalted himself because he said he was a pastor? Now he's exalted himself if he is demanding and requiring you to call him pastor and to treat him a certain type of way. You know what I'm talking about? Excuse me. Or the fact of anything, period. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you see all these preachers, all with all these titles in they bios next to their name. Pastor, apostle, such and such. Prophet, pastor, such and such. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody that you want to be greeted as such when you sing. You know what I'm saying? That's why you putting your title out there. That's a job description, brother. How many people you see lead with their job description except the people who want to be flattered for their job? Why you think everybody put in their bio CEO? Nigga, one member LLC talking about he a CEO. Nigga got no employees, but he a CEO. Everybody 1099. You're not a now, of course, for tax purposes, maybe. But how you a chief executive officer with no office to execute? You sending out orders today, sir. Well, of course, you know that'd be more women in this day and time. I'm a CEO. I'm a boss. Chick. I'll like find a baseball bat hole and hit you in your coochie with it. Because you ain't got no damn sense. You see how yes if it is to call yourself a CEO, you know what I'm saying? And you a single member LLC, mailing cookies. You work with teachers like what?
I do. They have like a PhD and like Mrs. or Mrs. Doctor. They like they get very offended.
Shoot, I would say I done spent 12, 14 years in school. You gonna call me? Niggas say you want to be called Dr. Murphy and you teach a third grade cleaning. You helping third learn how to color. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, you wasted your life. Nigga got a doctorate and teach a nigga how to color inside the goddamn license. Oh my land, that's got to be terrible. Teach the nigga how to write his name. Because like you spent to get a doctorate, bro, you got to go 4 years. It's probably gonna take you another 4 years to get your master's. You know what I'm talking about? And another 4 years possibly to get you. You spent 12 years in school. That's a long time. And you still ain't making it. And you win all that to go work at the public schools to teach Snotty Ray Ray how to write his name. This nigga got boogers in his nose. You got to clean his nose every day and then help him write, Ray. This nigga can't read. And you a doctor, though. As you walking down the elementary school hallway, you don't want me to call you Janine. You want me to call you Dr. Murphy. You go to hell, Janine. You go to hell. I'm not calling you nothing. It's doctor on your birth certificate. When you die, nigga, they ain't gonna put doctor on there, only on your obituary. And you know why? Because take the O in the area off, and that's what you is, ho. That's how they is, ain't it? They nasty. I know they is.
I said doctor, somebody there too. What's a doctor like a bodyguard? And I couldn't really explain it. I was like, no, like I really couldn't.
You know what you should have told him? Next time one of them kids ask you, he'd be like, doctor like a regular doctor? Say, no, baby. This is a doctor of a dumb hoe who couldn't figure out what she wanted to do with her life. So she went $250,000 in debt to have an accolade that she couldn't monetize. You know what I'm saying? That's the nasty way to tell it. Or you could just
talk about stocks. I'm like, y'all ain't in school for nothing. None of this is going on.
Hey, I could have been no something. Now let me tell you niggas how to use FanDuel. Nigga, I just made $10,000 last. This nigga, you trying to learn or not? Which one of you niggas like to tell? Because we gonna go out the classroom now. We don't want it in rap. Get off the wall, boy.
All you chose.
But yeah, that's why. See, just go to Job Corps after graduation. They'll pay for it and hook you up with a job. Yeah, they will. But with these chicks, they want education. They want
Travel. Travel with that thing, man.
I know somebody but see, in traveling nurses, you don't want to do that there because see, now you're gonna be loose with the loins getting piped down in different times. Y'all know that's what they be doing.
It's all paid.
Who says they ain't getting piped down? It's a new generation. Never had such a thing happen to me. My apologies, brother. My apologies. But yeah, man. When it come down to the titles, it's more so you want people to call you that. Like when you look at Paul, 1 Corinthians 9:1. When you look at Paul, I don't think Paul was walking around like I'm an apostle. I don't think Peter was doing that. You don't really read like James doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. First Corinthians 9:1, listen what he says.
Am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Yahshua Mashiach our master? Are you not my work in the Lord?
Notice he said, am I not? He asking this question. Why is he asking this question? Go ahead.
If I be not an apostle and the others, yet doubtless I am to you, for the seal of my apostleship are you in the Lord.
See, he said, if I ain't an apostle to nobody else, I am to you because I hit you off with the word. I taught you the gospel of Mashiach. Shalom, Sister Gwen. Come on.
My answer to them that do examine me is this. Have we not power to eat?
Notice he said to those that what?
To them that examine me.
Ain't that what he said he was an apostle or not? He ain't turn around like somebody, how dare you? I done told you this before because I done seen it. There is no ceremony that anyone can participate in to make you an apostle. A man cannot make you an apostle. Only the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach himself can do that. If a nigga said he went through an apostle ceremony, he's not an apostle. If you see a woman say she an apostle, just turn around and walk away. That ain't even no sense of, you don't even need to try her to ask her how she was an apostle. You should already know that she ain't one and go about your business. Don't go for them people that say, well, when he told Mary them that they're at the grave, that ain't make her no apostle. You know why? Because they didn't get taught that and beginning at Moses and all the prophets and things concerning himself. That's why they excluded. You don't see no woman getting that type of instruction. You ever seen it? Because I ain't never seen it. If it's there, I can say it. I've never seen it. You got to remember, because they were arguing that in one of them rooms. You have to know what makes somebody an apostle before you argue if someone is an apostle or not. You have to know what that is. If you don't know what that is, then how are you arguing that? I've seen and heard it all, sat through them initiations, very much Roman Catholic. I know you talk about that because, see, Amuna was in the apostolic church. You know, they do all them apostle type ceremonies. Niggas in there humming, rubbing on niggas. Not nasty rubbing, but it's rubbing nonetheless. No, they want to touch you, lay hands on you with the presbytery. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Come on, Sid.
So that we not power to lead about a sister or wife as well as other apostles, and as brethren of the Lord and Cephas, or I only and Barnabas have not we power to forbear working, who go a warfare at any time at his own charge, who plant a vineyard, eat not of the fruit thereof.
See, that's good. I didn't want you to see this man say they were trying him to see he wasn't walking around like I'm an apostle. Like now. How many of y'all ran across the first? He told you his title and then he told you his name. Have any of you ever experienced that?
Yeah.
See, that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying for y'all. I'm talking about for them. Yahushua HaMashiach. Remember what he said? He said, "I'm your Lord and I'm your Lord and Master." That's not how he was introduced. These people, he still never came at the people like that. You know why? Because it would be evident of what he was doing, of what type of time he was on. He didn't have to. He didn't need the people to come up and say, "Rabbi." There's plenty of people called the Lord Rabbi. He didn't care. She say apostle. That man alone. Doctor of Divinity. Y'all ever heard of that before? Oh yeah, y'all went to church. I know y'all. Yeah, see, she didn't know what she had asked me. I was like, yeah, that's Doctor of Divinity. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody who got a doctorate degree in divinity. You know what I'm saying? No, it's because you went to go to school for it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a lot of here always got doctor in front of their name. Man, nigga can get a doctorate of divinity in a couple years. It don't even take much effort, man. They pump them things out like Big Macs. That's about right. Sound about right. What you say, Stanley?
I understand that's pretty much being
No, they stand by theologian school because you go into a divinity school to get it. See, most divinity schools are not state-run or education, or public education. These private institutions. You know what I'm saying? Because that mean they preacher mills. It's the University of Phoenix for preachers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the ITT Tech for preachers, man. You sitting around teaching gospel in your living room. Go ahead, make the comment. He said, just like you got service reincarnated, them boys smoking good weed. They're smoking good. She said, I don't trust nobody to get paid to preach and got a degree in it.
It's working in Walmart.
Yeah, now I'm gonna tell you something. Be honest with you. Most preachers that you see who have a degree or doctors of divinity, they do that because it's necessary for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them, when they get in it, especially depending on what denomination they are part of, they like, yeah, man, you gotta go to theological school. Yeah, they pretty much ain't gonna fool with you. Yeah, they ain't gonna fool with you. They don't care how much words you know. To them, it is not going, like I say, you talking about Baptist, like actual organizations, and Southern Baptists and all that there. Boy, they want them credentials next to your name.
But I kind of mentioned like a fair to a statute because like you have to have some type of paperwork or.
I can't argue with that. Yeah, I can't argue with you with that.
I thought the Pharisees and Sadducees was like,
but they was sex.
I thought it was like you were born to it.
It is, and it ain't. I mean, you kind of is brought into it, but it just was sex of people. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at these Sadducees, man. Let's look at a historical advent of the Sadducees. I think the Pharisees was behind that Sanhedrin, if my memory serves me correctly. So, the Sadducees was a Jewish sect. They denied the resurrection of the dead, the existence of spirits, and the obligation to the oral tradition, emphasizing in the afterlife, and the Sadducees did not. The Pharisees also did believe in spirits and angels. And of course, we just heard how the Sadducees did not. Here's their beliefs. In general, rejected the oral Torah as proposed by the Pharisees. They saw the written Torah as the sole source of divine authority. Later, and of course, this is coming from Josephus. I don't know if any of y'all ever heard of the book, The Antiquities of Josephus. You know what I'm saying? He was a Jewish historian. You know what I'm talking about? This is where the majority of this information comes from. Rejection of the idea of fate or a preordained future. God does not commit or even think evil. Man has free will. Man has the free choice of good or evil. The soul is not mortal, and there is no afterlife, and no rewards or penalties after death. It is a virtue to debate and dispute with philosophy. Brother Marvin said he got it. There's the resurrection of the dead, or in the traditional Jewish concept of Sheol. They were more sectarian insult rather than unbiased judgment of the Pharisees, so on and so forth. Let's look at what the Pharisees got going on. And so it's a lot more information on the Pharisees than it is on the. It said that the Pharisees really came into Pharisees was meant separatist party. It really came to power more so after Judas Maccabees, according to Joseph. Something like that. Here go their beliefs. No single tractate of the key rabbinic text mission is devoted to theological issues. These texts concern primarily interpretation of Jewish law and anecdotes about the sages and their values. Only one chapter of the Mishnah deals with theological issues. It searches the kinds of people who have no a different set of core principles, idolatry, murder, or however said that Jews must be meticulous in small religious duties as well as large ones, because you do not know what sort of reward is coming for any of the religious duties, suggesting that all laws are of equal importance. 6 and 4. They did believe in will, but God has foreknowledge of human destiny. Fundamentally, the Pharisees continue to form a Judaism that extended beyond the temple, applying Jewish law to mundane activities in order to sanctify the everyday world. We can talk about it another time. But a lot of stuff when you say with your traditions that you read in there. Thank you. And basically, for lack of better description, what you just heard, that's what you hear these niggas debating. We're doing arguing on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? Say none of this. The Bible don't say this. No, this all stuff. But man, we'll stop right there, man. We got 2 hours 35 minutes. So we'll say hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. Y'all willing, man, you know, we will be back Monday night to do it all over again. I bless y'all at the house. Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Monday night at 8:30 will begin the observation of unleavened bread. You hand me that cord. Top. And yeah, and we're gonna be rocking and rolling from this point forward. It's Samuel Heinrich Froelich of Switzerland. So I'm going to spend 32 years in the Apostolic Church. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so when it comes to certain stuff on the apostolic side of things, she has intimate knowledge and details. I appreciate you, bro. Hold it down. She got intimate knowledge and details. What's up? I'm the only one in the world with that man. What's up, boy? That's what Debo said.
The niggas be quick to talk about that powerful.
You keep, if you don't believe in